GM Quel persists as representation of Titan's brutality despite their adaptation of Cyclopean visage at the outbreak of the Grips War, where most GM Quels are not used to engage the orc. Formed after one of the Zeon's remnants, Dallas Fleet deployed a nuclear warhead in the middle of the Federation Space Force parade near Space Fortress Salomon, and attempted to drop a space colony on Earth. Titans is a Federation task force formed to eradicate Zeon remnants who refuse to surrender to Federation force. Its ranks are filled with elite and decorated soldiers. It was given its own production arsenals to prevent Zeon infiltration. To ensure the Titans' loyalty, Earthian supremacy is used as a core doctrine of the task force. The Earthian supremacists within the Federation government quickly realized they can use the Titans for their own political gain, and soon the Titans evolved from merely executors to prosecutor, judge, and executor in one, sometimes work with or without military police to subdue other Federation forces for their own political allies or their own gain. However, most Titans' operations before Grips War were suppression of civilian unrest of space colonies, just or unjust. Sometimes those would involve Zeon remnants or particularly heavy industrial colonies with mobile workers or even mobile suits. GM Quel is designed to deal with personal and mobile suit alike. GM Quel, model number RGM-79Q, is a redesign of RGM-79N GM Custom to be more suitable operating inside space colonies. GM Quel have simple silhouette, so it would be less likely to caught on infrastructure, and it has a lot more optical sensors around the entire mobile suit, most notably those on the base of their lower legs, enabling the GM Quel to see ground level without using its main cameras. They are also painted in dark blue like the Titan's uniform, but you can also see them in specific division or fleet colors. Like GM-79N, GM Quel is designed to match the combat effectiveness of early RX-78 series. That means for most of the time, even against more advanced Zeon mobile suits like the Jugog, GM Quel wouldn't be at a disadvantage. Later versions of GM Quel will also have linear seat and full-dome monitors for their cockpits, leading the way for wide adaptation of those technologies. GM Quel's standard loadout is rather humble to minimize damage to the colonies if they ever need to use them. After all, most civil unrest or even riot would come and disperse at the sight of these dark giants. GM Quel sports a pair of head falcons like most Federation mobile suits. These are more than enough to deal with human insurgents and most non-mobile suit vehicles. The 90mm bullpup rifle, an improved version of the 90mm bullpup SMG, shoots anti-armor penetrator at a higher velocity on a more stable platform. It's enough to disable most mobile suits without doing too much damage to the structures of the space colonies. GM Quel still retains a single beam saber for melee combat, and the few cases that the 90mm bullpup rifle isn't up to the task. It is also a handy tool for breaching reinforced gates and walls. In addition, GM Quel can still use all standard Federation Force equipment like the beam rifle, hyper bazooka, missile launcher, etc., but those would usually be GM Quel variants. The GM Quel was mostly replaced by High-Zag at the outbreak of the Grips War, and most of them have been moved to rear echelon as backup units. However, GM Quel is also used as basis for most of Titan's in-house mobile suit research and development. First the TR-1 Hazel Gundam and later the Mark II Gundam. Both projects ended up not doing the Titans much favor, but thus eventually become the Federation's next-gen mainline mass production mobile suit. The GM Quel is both infamous as a symbol of Titan oppression and renowned for its influence on the more positive forces in Earth's circle.